your online community for positive change. Seventh Wave Network.
Welcome to Cosmic Kick with your host, Adrian Wentworth. Get ready to have your illusions broken and your consciousness expanded. Now, here's Adrian to give you that Cosmic Kick.
Greetings, all of you sincere seekers of light and truth. Today, I'm going to speak to you about the return of the cosmic feminine energy. Another missing key to our empowerment, to our ability to be able to create with God's energy, is the healing of our feminine energy. So this isn't just about women getting into their power. It's about women and men, all of us, being able to use both of our energies, our male energy and our female energy, merging them together for full power. Now, for many, many years, I've been helping women heal their abuse issues. And before I even knew what really had gone wrong in our energy systems, I used to have certain dead relatives appear to me, female relatives, aunts and grandmothers, saying, "We're counting on you to help us heal." And I would think, well, you're dead. How can I help you heal? I didn't understand at the time how there is this lineage that all of us carry within us. We are connected to our male lineages and our female lineages, and there is often these patterns and cycles of abuse that goes on from generation to generation to generation. And my dead relatives were showing up, my female ones were asking me to help break the pattern of abuse that was in my feminine line. And what I found from working with not only myself but many women is that when the cycle is broken, it helps those heal who have come before and will come after. It's like taking a link out of a chain, and now that chain is broken. And so this alerted me to, boy, why are these chains of bondage and abuse, why do they exist to start with? And I kept exploring more and more of our energy systems to see again, why don't we have the power to create, to heal, to change our lives? And what I found was very, very fascinating. As I explored more and more deeply into the energy system, I found that there were certain channels within us that were supposed to lead to cosmic feminine energy, which is the source of our creative energy, that were no longer accessible to us. I couldn't even find them. And my guides, who strongly were urging me to explore this, were urging me to keep bringing my energy to these suppressed places within to open up these original channels. And it was very, very difficult. When I would bring my consciousness and awareness and try to bring energy into these suppressed feminine energy channels, it would feel as if I was suffocating. And I'd say, I don't think I can do this. And they were right there saying, come on, keep going, keep going. I didn't even know what the goal was. All I knew is that by now, after years of working with my guides, I trusted them, and I kept trying to open these channels. Now, as I did this, I was also having very strong intimidations from male energies that would appear to me saying, don't even go there. Do not try to do this, and if you do, we will destroy everything that you're working so hard to achieve. Now, at this time, I was a single mother and providing for my children, and this is very scary. Well, what do you mean, you can destroy me? But I knew exactly what they meant. What I found is that there is a male hierarchy, which is a group of dark force entities who literally control what goes on here on Earth. And we have been abused and suppressed in such horrible ways and made to believe that the only way we are going to survive here is if we play by the male hierarchy rules. Now, this isn't about men versus women, because men also are totally affected and have to play within these rules to succeed. Well, I'm very feisty. Anybody who's been listening to my shows by now know that as soon as someone tells me don't do that, I'm going to go, why not? There must be something really good at the end of this long, hard struggle, and I'm going to keep going there. And I literally said, I don't care if I have to live in a van with my children. I will not play with you, talking to the male hierarchy. And I kept doing my work. And it took me years to open up these channels little by little. And as I opened the channels, deep, deep memories and impressions from the abuse that had been done to my energy system, as well as the impressions, the stored memories of what have been done to all of us, started to come forward. And I would start to see what I was experiencing in visions, dream visions, because I'm a dreamer, and here's where I can really let go and open up to receive, as many of you already know is possible to receive visions during your dream states. And I started to see the most fantastic story being laid out before me. Now, if you listened to last week's show about the Luciferian conspiracy and how we as souls fell away and were trapped in darkness and let go of our connection and now felt we had no other alternative, but in order to survive, we needed to connect to dark force energy because it was the only thing that we could feel that said, if you guys want to survive, you're going to have to play in our game by our rules. Well, I spoke to you about how many light beings were sent from the Godhead, from the source, to find out why the children weren't coming home anymore. And as the light beings came into the realms of darkness, how they also became subject to the strong illusion and pull and fell into darkness. Now, the Cosmic Mother, who I call now AnaMata, Mother of all feminine energies, the Cosmic Mother, and cosmic means without form. Cosmic Mother took form. The Mother God took form to look for her children. And all of you mothers out there know, if your child is missing, you will search and will never give up looking for your child. Now, fathers may continue the search, but they also sometimes shut down in pain. But mothers, because of that intimate connection of mother-child, will keep going and keep going. And this is what the mother did. She took form and came into the realms of darkness to look for her children. And this is exactly what the dark force energies were hoping for. When you enter the realms of darkness, the illusion is so strong, especially the first time, you not only lose consciousness, but you fall into fear, great fear, because all of a sudden, even though your connection to Source is truly still there, you can't feel it anymore. It is frightening. And the mother experienced the exact same thing as we did. That confusion, that fear, which made her vulnerable to dark force energies. The mother was captured. I'm telling you this again in a simplistic way, a story form, to help you understand how we came to be in the state of no power, just having no power to create and to heal, as is our birthright. So the mother was captured. Now she holds the key to creation. And if you remember from what I've been telling you, dark force energy can only exist if it can feed off of God's light. For God's light, God's energy is the only thing that can create. But this energy can be taken and it can be used, distorted and shifted and changed to feed dark force creations. And the mother was captured, and many, many horrible, horrible things were done to her. She was inundated with demons and dark force extraterrestrials who tried over and over again to penetrate her being, trying to get a hold of her energy. She held on and held on for as long as she could, and finally, when she couldn't feel her connection and was getting so full of negative dark force energy, she let go. She let go of her energy, and dark energy started to merge with her, and now had a way to create with the mother's energy. Now they set the mother free and said, we don't need you anymore. Go ahead, go on out, do what you want to do, because we have an in now into your pure feminine energy that we can use to create with. Now the mother was devastated, feeling that now she is dirty, she is lost her power. And even though she could hear the screams of her children crying out for help all over the realms of existence, of creation, she left them and went to a realm where she felt she would stay safe, separate, and work on her healing. But she did not go back to the Godhead right away, for she felt that she was tainted and did not want to bring that negativity back to the source. I'll continue with this story after these messages.
Your online community for positive change. Seventh Wave Network.
Are you feeling stuck? Krista Resources has the transformational tools to help you overcome all the obstacles that are blocking you from making positive changes in your relationships, career, health, and spiritual growth. Adrian Wentworth, founder of Krista Resources, brings you the missing keys through the Krista Healing Method and Krista Energy Attunements. These spiritual tools will clear and realign your energy system, remove all influences that are holding you powerless, build permanent protection against outside negative forces, activate your gifts and abilities, and get you in touch with your soul's purpose. Krista Resources, providing support for your personal growth and spiritual journey, helping you stay strong, balanced, and empowered through the challenges of these changing times. For more information on the products and services developed by Adrian Wentworth, visit her website at www.KristaResources.com or call 719-487-8095. The website again is www.KristaResources.com, or you can call 719-487-8095. Everybody is thinking green these days, but green is not just an environmental state of mind, it's a healthier state of being. It's the food we eat, the air we breathe, and the structures we live and work in. It's not the dollars that we're spending, but how we spend those dollars. Are we consciously making informed decisions? Join host Connie McCullough as she explores healthier living by choice. Living Green, Healthier by Choice airs live on the 7th Wave Network every Thursday afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern and 2 p.m. Pacific Time. Tune in for the challenge of a lifetime, a challenge for greener, healthier living.
Imagine there's no heaven.
Imagine there's no mortgage. It's easy if you try. That's not just a slogan, it's a choice you have right now. In these uncertain economic times, Sherry Shane of Shane Enterprises can empower you to eliminate or reduce your mortgage. Imagine how much money you'll save for your home, your family, for you. Shane Enterprises is a mortgage reduction and debt elimination company. Start imagining the possibilities today by calling Sherry Shane of Shane Enterprises at 719-210-3608. That's 719-210-3608. Imagine there is no mortgage. It's easy if you try.
Awakened media for a transforming world. 7th Wave Network.
You're listening to Cosmic Kick with Adrian Wentworth. Do you need help getting unstuck? Email Adrian your questions at KristaResources@Comcast.net. That's KristaResources@Comcast.net. Now back to Cosmic Kick with Adrian Wentworth.
Welcome back. To continue the story of what happened to the cosmic feminine energy, as the mother left and went to find a safe place to start to heal, after a period of time, the father energy within the source of all was noticing, well, what happened to Mother? Why is she not coming back? For without her, how can I continue to create? And that is what I do. I create. But to create, it takes the positive charge, the negative charge, bringing them together to create. The mother, the father energy. The father also took form, stepped out of the Godhead. And this is, as you know, we are familiar with many different formed energies of God. God can take form whenever he, she chooses. But in the source, it is formless, what I call cosmic energy. So the Father took form. Any time you step 1 foot out of the source, you are vulnerable to be interfered with. And so as the father stepped out after a period of time, wondering what happened to the mother, he became very lonely because he needs to do what he does, create. The source of energy is just this generator that creates and creates and creates. What happened now that dark force energies had the power of the feminine energy, they created a false feminine energy and brought it to the Godhead and literally seduced the father, who was lonely now, who accepted this false mother. And I know this seems, oh, come on, God would know better. Remember, this is a story form to help you understand how our lines have gotten muddied and intermingled with dark energy. But he started to create with this false mother. Now, the beings that were created from the dark force feminine, the light male created a new line of beings that were half dark and half light, as well as from the mother's energy, also dark force father energy was created and merged with the pure feminine God energy, which created another whole lineage of beings who were half dark and half light. Now, they're still all drawing on the source of all for energy. And then, stepping that down even further, now the half-dark, half-light male lineage and the half-light, half-dark female lineage start to merge, and now we have even more darkness within us. And as this continued on and on and on, it became harder and harder to see the light that was within us. And how this interprets today to what we're holding in our energy systems is that now we have these circuitries within us that connect us to this false feminine energy and false male energy and override our original male-female cosmic feminine and masculine channels. Now, in order to create with God's energy, it is necessary not only to have full connection to the source, the male, the female energies of the source, the positive and negative charges, but you also need to have those channels open within you and connected and have your own male and female energy merge together to create with. What a missing key this is. So as I was guided to start to open up these suppressed channels, and it was the feminine channels I was asked to work with, as I worked with this for years, finally I came out the other end. And what I found was this connection to this beautiful feminine energy who presented herself to me as AnaMata, mother of all feminine energies. Now, at first I was a little shocked at a female because, again, I wasn't expecting that, and I wasn't even sure about her power because being that I have traveled the path, as all of us have, of feeling that the mother is not there for us anymore, and having these connections to the false feminine and false masculine, the mother was something that I didn't feel had any power. Didn't have any power anymore. That if you wanted power, you had to go through the male energy lines, all of the spiritual traditions that I also went through just to be able to reach God's energy, but I had to follow all of the rules of those male energies, and it could make me have some God connection, but I couldn't bring God's energy back into my vehicle and have any kind of power to create. So when AnaMata presented herself to me, she started to give me certain sacred sounds that were empowerments of her energy. And she said to me, use these sacred sounds to help you heal, to help you align, to help you correct all of the distortions within your energy system. Now, I've gone for years now to open these channels, so obviously, again, I'm a seeker of truth. I'm going to try it and find out. So I went on retreat, and I worked each day. I sat in meditation, and AnaMata would give me a few more of her sacred sounds, and I would meditate with them, and I would have experiences. For again, unless I have the direct experience to know truth, I cannot comfortably give it out to others. So I would sit in meditation and receive these sounds, meditate with them, have certain experiences, and then I would run to my computer and write down what these sounds did. And believe me, that's very intricate what some of them do to help us open up the inner passageways that have been so rerouted and sealed up. So I did this over and over and became really, okay, we're onto something here, Mother. I mean, this is good stuff. And she also gave me melodies. And I went, oh, wait a minute. Okay, I'm willing to take sacred sound because I'm all about mantras and sacred sounds and understand how powerful they are. But now she was giving me melodies and telling me to create a CD with these sacred sounds, putting them into mantras and putting them into this music to help all of her children find their way back to her. Well, again, gone too far to turn back now. I took some melodies as well, and I brought them to a composer who created this beautiful music from these melodies, and we created a CD of empowered sacred sounds of AnaMata. And I have that CD available, and you can get it from my website, www.ChristaResources.com. Now, also, I was guided to create an attunement process, which means a way to help those who wanted to also experience more quickly the availability of healing their feminine energy channels. And so I created an attunement process with AnaMata's help, which will open those channels and release all of the overrides to false feminine energy. And I'll tell you more about that after these messages.
Your online community for positive change. Seventh Wave Network.
Are you feeling stuck? Krista Resources has the transformational tools to help you overcome all the obstacles that are blocking you from making positive changes in your relationships, career, health, and spiritual growth. Adrienne Wentworth, founder of Krista Resources, brings you the missing keys through the Krista Healing Method and Krista Energy Attunements. These spiritual tools will clear and realign your energy system, remove all influences that are holding you powerless, build permanent protection against outside negative forces, activate your gifts and abilities, and get you in touch with your soul's purpose. Krista Resources, providing support for your personal growth and spiritual journey, helping you stay strong, balanced, and empowered through the challenges of these changing times. For more information on the products and services developed by Adrienne Wentworth, visit her website at www.KristaResources.com or call 719-487-8095. The website again is www.KristaResources.com, or you can call 719-487-8095. Enlightenment and ascension brings love and joy into your life. Now you can experience the wisdom, humor, and healing of the Ascended Masters as they are channeled through clairvoyant healer Janae Serio. Each week, the Ascended Masters will focus on topics that touch and bring healing to your life, relationships, career, and serve to open your heart to be the best person you can be. Tune in to Tools for Ascension with clairvoyant Janae Serio every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Time on the 7th Wave Network.
Imagine there's no heaven.
Imagine there's no mortgage. It's easy if you try. That's not just a slogan, it's a choice you have right now. In these uncertain economic times, Sherry Shane of Shane Enterprises can empower you to eliminate or reduce your mortgage. Imagine how much money you'll save for your home, your family, for you. Shane Enterprises is a mortgage reduction and debt elimination company. Start imagining the possibilities today by calling Sherry Shane of Shane Enterprises at 719-210-3608. That's 719-210-3608. Imagine there is no mortgage. It's easy if you try.
Awakened media for a transforming world. Seventh Wave Network.
You're listening to Cosmic Kick with Adrienne Wentworth. Do you need help getting unstuck? Email Adrienne your questions at KristaResources@Comcast.net. That's KristaResources@Comcast.net. Now back to Cosmic Kick with Adrienne Wentworth.
I'm speaking to you about the AnaMata energy attunement, which I developed to help open up the feminine energy channels and connect to cosmic feminine energy. And also, during this attunement, I bring in the 50 sacred seed sounds of Divine Mother AnaMata, which are like little pieces of Divine Mother consciousness. And these little pieces of consciousness, as you use them and repeat them over and over, start to take hold. And when you can connect and bring in Divine Mother's energy, they start to flower, blossom, and release the power within you to heal, to realign, to even correct the distortions in our DNA. Very, very powerful sound. And to achieve super consciousness again. Now, when you first start to open up these feminine energy channels, the first thing that comes up are all your issues with Mother. Feeling that she abandoned you. Feeling that she is only critical and doesn't care for you. For what I was seeing in my visions along with everything I've spoken to you about so far is also I saw now that many of us started to really believe that this false mother that was presented to us was our only mother, and yet she was critical. She was hard to please. And this is something that we carry within us, these negative programs of we're not enough. And also, what is very interesting is I saw what happened to the male energy as well. Because this isn't about women versus men and the battle of the sexes. This is what has been done to us to keep us battling. And as you look around our world, you see how all of this distortion plays out in our family units, in our most intimate relationships. For what happened afterwards, after the fall of the feminine, is that now, because we were so desperate to try to survive, and so much was done to us, that now we started to do whatever we could to have any little bits of power, and we started to work against each other. And dark force feminine energy was right there saying to women, oh, you seduce the men first, because if they get an in into your system first, they are going to have power over you. And so now we have this battle going on where all of the creative energy is now being used to sexually seduce and connect and have power over each other. And if you look at our world, how much of it is motivated by sex? This is not the correct use of our creative sexual energy. And next week I'm going to speak with you more about sexuality, spirituality, and twin flames, soulmates, and spiritual relationships. So now we have this battle going on. And it wasn't that men, the male energy, were given power over the women. Oh no. What I saw is these beautiful, innocent male energies that were also totally abused. And it was like these little boys, where a gang of boys came and beat up these beautiful, innocent male energies and raped them and said, now you're one of us. Now you are part of the club, and we're going to teach you how to survive in the world. And they were taught how they had to take. They had to take what they wanted. They had to do whatever it took and have no concern about if they were hurting others. It was all about power to survive. Now remember that within us, we all have both male and female energy. This has nothing to do with the gender, the sexual gender that you are in this particular incarnation. We all have this within us. So we have the wounded feminine, and we have the wounded masculine, and we have this battle for power to survive in our world. Oh, there's so much to heal. And I would see this over and over, not only in my own work that I did with myself, but I would sometimes feel as if, oh my gosh, we are like half dark and half light, and I'm not sure which one is going to win. That was before I got the tools from Spirit to heal the distortion. So within us, we have this separation that needs to be healed. And there are many, many powerful women on the planet now, only because the feminine energy needs to come back into power to help balance, to help heal the masculine, because the feminine is the mother. Now, I want to read a passage from Divine Intervention, the story of the Luciferian conspiracy and God's solution that I channeled. It's called The Land of Pan. Long ago, in the land of Pan, there lived a young girl named Shemitah. Shemitah was a very great soul, confident and sure of her abilities and skills. She created whatever she desired just by using her mind. She knew how to draw to her all the people and situations she desired in her life. She was very happy creating each day, enjoying her creations, and thanking God for the wonderful opportunity to enjoy such earthly pleasures. One day, a handsome man came along and swept Shemitah right off her feet. He seemed also a great soul and demonstrated spiritual power in the art of manifesting. Shemitah, he said one day, why don't we merge our energies together and become one great energy field? Come on, what do you say? We could be greater than God. We might even take over the Godhead and rule all of His creations. What do you say? Do you love me enough to sacrifice yourself for my desire? Shemitah was scared. She had never seen this side of her beloved before. She loved him with all her heart, but to do what he asked seemed to go against what she felt inside. She never before had to discern between right and wrong. She only knew happiness and joy. These new feelings that were created by her lover's request confused her and frightened her. She ran away, but her lover ran after her. Since he was the stronger of the two, he soon overcame her and forced himself on her. If you won't merge with me in the way I want, I will just have to take your energy from you. Shemitah's eyes grew wide with terror. She had never before felt physical pain or known such violence. This man, whom she had accepted as her spiritual counterpart, was now sexually assaulting her, sucking the energy right out of her. She begged him to stop, but her cries just angered him more, and he began hitting her with his fists until her face was bloody. Shemitah surrendered and let go of her energy. He took what he wanted and left. Now I will be the most powerful being in the universe. All others will have to obey my commands, or I will destroy them with my power, he said as he strode off. Shemitah huddled in a ball, whimpering. Her mind cried out, "My Father in heaven, what happened? Why were you not watching over me? Why did you let this happen? What did I do to deserve this? Am I a bad person? Am I unworthy of your love and protection?" So wounded was Shemitah that she didn't wait to hear God's answer. She covered herself in mud and filth. She began to do and say things differently. Her trust in God was gone, and so was her power to manifest. She began to steal food from others because she could no longer produce her own. People began to hate her for her weakness. They spat on her and kicked her, and each time they did this, their power became a little less. No one was happy anymore. Everyone was worried and afraid. If Shemitah lost her power, it could happen to us. She was so confident and sure of herself. Why don't we kill her? Then we don't have to live with this constant fear. A committee was formed and voted to stone Shemitah to death on the grounds that she was now ugly and dirty and not worthy to live among them. An angry mob cornered Shemitah and blow by blow took her life. Now the people could not look into each other's eyes anymore. They didn't like what they felt inside. They also became fearful that God would no longer listen to them, and they stopped talking to Him. Their power had vanished. Their hearts had hardened, and there was no more joy in the land of Pan. The beautiful trees began to shrivel, and the sparkling lakes began to dry up. No food could be found anywhere, and the people began to starve. They ate each other as a last resort until the great magical people of Pan no longer existed. God now speaks to the lost souls of Pan. My dear beloved children, why have you closed your ears to me? I have been calling you for so long. Your own fear and doubt prevented you from listening. The man disguised as Shemitah's lover was none other than Lucifer. He has tricked you into feeling you are helpless against him. He has made you believe I am an uncaring God. This is not true. I do not punish you, you punish yourselves. Why do you not open your eyes and your ears and see me and hear me? I am always with you. I have always been available to you. If Shemitah would have not let her fear overcome her, she could have called on me immediately. I would have assisted her and saved her from falling under Lucifer's spell. Her fear stopped her from calling out to me. I would have come. I always do and always will help those who call to me. After Lucifer left, I could have still restored her power, but her anger and her guilt prevented her from seeing me. I'll be back after this break.
Your online community for positive change. Seventh Wave Network.
Are you feeling stuck? Krista Resources has the transformational tools to help you overcome all the obstacles that are blocking you from making positive changes in your relationships, career, health, and spiritual growth. Adrian Wentworth, founder of Krista Resources, brings you the missing keys through the Krista Healing Method and Krista Energy Attunements. These spiritual tools will clear and realign your energy system, remove all influences that are holding you powerless, build permanent protection against outside negative forces, activate your gifts and abilities, and get you in touch with your soul's purpose. Krista Resources, providing support for your personal growth and spiritual journey, helping you stay strong, balanced, and empowered through the challenges of these changing times. For more information on the products and services developed by Adrian Wentworth, visit her website at www.KristaResources.com or call 719-487-8095. The website again is www.KristaResources.com, or you can call 719-487-8095. Whether you're a baby boomer, a post-baby boomer, or a young up-and-coming, we can guide your stride. Host Cindy Spear will enlighten, educate, and entice you, our listener, to realize that you are in control of your life. No longer will the economy, media, employers, neighbors, or relatives, not even the dog, come between you and your unlimited potential. Tune in to Baby Boomers of Today. Where do we go from here? Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Pacific on the Seventh Wave Network.
Imagine there's no heaven.
Imagine there's no mortgage. It's easy if you try. That's not just a slogan, it's a choice you have right now. In these uncertain economic times, Sherry Shane of Shane Enterprises can empower you to eliminate or reduce your mortgage. Imagine how much money you'll save for your home, your family, for you. Shane Enterprises is a mortgage reduction and debt elimination company. Start imagining the possibilities today by calling Sherry Shane of Shane Enterprises at 719-210-3608. That's 719-210-3608. Imagine there is no mortgage. It's easy if you try.
Awakened media for a transforming world. Seventh Wave Network.
You're listening to Cosmic Kick with Adrian Wentworth. Do you need help getting unstuck? Email Adrian your questions at KristaResources@Comcast.net. That's KristaResources@Comcast.net. Now back to Cosmic Kick with Adrian Wentworth.
I'm reading to you a passage from Divine Intervention and God speaking to the lost souls of Pan, and I'm going to finish that. And as he was speaking to us after the fall of Shemitah, which is the feminine within all of us, he says, after Lucifer left, I could have still restored her power, but her anger and her guilt prevented her from seeing me. I was standing right before her after she called, not to punish but to comfort, not to condemn but to heal. How many have turned away from my loving arms? How many still believe they are sinners and unworthy of my love? I tell you now that I love each one of you. I want to help you regain confidence in your abilities to create joy and peace and plentifulness. Lucifer's spell has lasted too long. You have forgotten everything I taught you before you left my presence, seeking new experiences. I told you then, and I tell you now, believe in me. Restore your trust in my love. I will help you, but you must ask with renewed faith, without doubt or fear, and believe with every part of your being that I can and will come through for you. My dear children, peace will once again reign on your planet, but those who refuse my help now will not be able to stay. Those who refuse to wake up from Lucifer's spell will have to leave. I am taking over now. I have heard your Earth Mother's pleas for help, and I now come to her and to those of you who are willing to receive me. I want to help you now call on the pure, divine, feminine, cosmic energy with the mantra that will help you connect again to the source of all. And this mantra is Om Jai Korinda AnaMata Namaha. Om Jai Korinda AnaMata Namaha. Korinda means Queen of Creation. Jai, the interpretation of Jai is victory. AnaMata again means Mother of all feminine energies. Namaha is I surrender. So you're saying, I surrender to the Queen of Creation. May I be victorious in opening to your Shakti, your power, and help heal myself, others, and the earth. This particular mantra, along with the 50 sacred seed sounds given to me by AnaMata, are on my CD, AnaMata, the Sacred Sounds, for healing and empowerment. Again, Om Jai Korinda AnaMata Namaha. Now, within us, there is so much old pain that needs to be healed. Within our male energy and female energies. And we need to release this old pain. We need to release all of the fear that if we let go of these old grids that connect us to false feminine and masculine energies, that we will be safe, that we will be able to create and survive in our world. Not only will we survive, but we will thrive. And this is what I had to prove within myself. For when I started to disconnect, at first, there was a lot of turmoil going on in my life, but I stuck to my truth. I stood in my truth, and the more I opened the correct channels and started to heal, bring in the frequencies of Mother, Father, God to heal, I started to have power to create without having to connect to these false lines and energies. And this is something that takes courage on our planet, for there are many who have made it through because they have made deals with dark force energies. Okay, I tell you what, if you just let me be successful, I will not mess with any of your interferences. I will leave it alone. I won't tell people. I won't try to shift them. And this has happened, which then only makes those who haven't made the deals, feel like, why can't I make my life work? This is why. And I'm here to tell you today that it will work. The source is available to us. That power, again, is available to us. And we can use it now to create in our world. One thing that happened to me right away when I started to disconnect is everything I tried to create would be paralleled by someone else. And I was like, what? Only done in a bigger and greater way, trying to intimidate me that we're never going to let you through. And just knowing that those pathways have now been opened, and it's now possible for people to find their way back home, is all of the gratification I needed to keep going. Within us, there are so many distorted codes and programs. And I've spoken with you a little bit about the distortions in our DNA. And these codes now have been implanted within us where they're just there from generation to generation. And so we are weakened. Our energy systems are in a weakened state. And the AnaMata energy and her sacred sound can help you heal these deep distortions and release these codes, which then it will be possible to reseed your system, to bring in new codes for healing. For not only do we have to release the negative, we have to rebuild and then recode, reprogram all parts of us. We are literally rebuilding our energy systems, healing back to our original state. This is Adrienne Wentworth. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next week for Twin Flames, Soulmates, and Spiritual Relationships. Namaste.
Thanks again for listening to Cosmic Kick with your host, Adrienne Wentworth. Make sure you join us live every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time and 10 a.m. Pacific Time here on the Seventh Wave Network.